it's me, Alpha Nova from the Blood Rose Wolfpack. I haven't said that intro in a while. Wow. Yeah, it's been a little bit. We sort of announced on Instagram that we were back officially from a little hiatus that we went on without telling anybody. Sorry about that. But yeah, we are pretty much back and ready to go. I can't guarantee how frequently we'll be posting anymore because, as you know, probably, me and like a lot of our pack, we're like adults or almost adults at this point, so we actually have lives outside of this at this point. So that's been getting in the way. But I promise we aren't leaving for good. We are still posting, we're still active, trying to be anyways. But yeah, so I figured I'm gonna start this video. I figured I was gonna make this video be sort of like the first real one back. Obviously we've posted here and there, like we've made a couple videos in the last few months, but like, you know, now and officially we're pretty much back and set. So yeah, this first video is gonna be a remake of an old one, because let's be honest, now that we're a little older and we know what we're doing more, I feel we can kind of convey information better. So we're not going to delete the old videos, but we're going to remake them. Does that make sense? But before I get into that, Ray's and I started our own personal channel. I will leave the link down below if you want to go check it out. I mean, you don't have to, but it's down in the description if you want to check it out, support, maybe. It's literally my old personal that I deleted everything from. I've restarted it, and it is now for us, and it's not Therian related or anything, but it's mainly just us in our lives outside of Therianthropy, being obnoxious and stupid and, you know, just fun things. So yeah, you can go check that out if you want to. You don't have to. You don't feel obligated to. You don't have to at all. I swear on my life. I'm not going to make you, but it would be appreciated. But anyways, as you saw from the title, I'm going to be remaking one of our videos, and it's probably one of the very first informational videos that we have on the channel. And it's where we talk about the different types of shifts that Therians or otherkin experience. So yeah. So basically, as a Therian or otherkin, you've probably shifted at least once at some point in your life, whether it be very early on, as a child. Like for me, I used to shift a lot as a child because whenever I was playing with my friends or whatever, we'd pretend to be animals, and sometimes it would actually turn into shifts and stuff like that. Obviously back then we didn't know what it was called, but now we do. And I don't know. Basically, if you're a Therian or otherkin, you've probably shifted at least once in your life at some point. Whether it be early on or more recent, it's probably happened at least once. That being said, though, not all Therians experience shifts. Some Therians never shift ever, and that doesn't mean they're any less of a Therian. Some just don't, and also going along with that, sort of, there are also people, some Therians, who are always shifted. I am not one of those people. I experience shifts pretty regularly, but not like 24/7, if that makes sense. Also, shifting doesn't have to be super consistent either. Like, you don't have to have regular shifts or whatever to be a Valetherian, I sometimes go months, multiple months without having a single shift, and then suddenly I will get like a ton of them, and then they'll stop again. Like, it sort of just happens. It's not really in anyone's control, but like, you can't control whether it happens or not, but yeah. A little side note before I get into actually listing out the types of shifts that there are, or that I'm going to talk about. I have like, let me see. I have like 7. I have 7 shifts that I'm going to mention. 7 different types. But before I say that, I want to sort of put something out there. Even though I said that shifting isn't really in our control, that doesn't mean that you aren't able to control your actions during a shift. Let's say you're having a super intense mental shift and you're really heavily shifted, and maybe it lasts a really long time, and someone does something that makes you mad or upset or whatever, that doesn't give you the right to lash out at them. And this used to be an issue with some younger Therians. I don't know if it's still an issue, where they would sort of actually start barking or sort of snapping at people. That just because you're shifted doesn't give you the right to be really nasty and mean to somebody. Obviously if someone is making you mad, you have to tell them like a normal person would, because you're still a human, you're still a person, you sort of, have an obligation as a person to act like a person when interacting with other people. I don't know if that made any sense at all, but I don't know. I'm assuming you know what I'm trying to say, so I'm just going to kind of leave it at that. And yeah, without further ado, let's look at some of the types of shifts that we as Therians and other can experience. Okay, the first type of shift that I'm going to talk about is a mental shift, and I sort of brought this up before already in this video, but I'm going to talk about what it is. So a mental shift is basically where you temporarily take on the mindset and behavior of your stereotype or kin type. So like I said, if you have a dog or canine stereotype, you experience a mental shift, you might be more likely to, start barking or, making the noises of your stereotype, or making the noises like barking, growling, whimpering, whatever noise that you would make, and maybe even running around on all fours. I mean, that's a pretty common thing. I do that sometimes. Not always, not very often, but sometimes I'll do that because it's kind of fun. I mean, it's good exercise, so, And another thing that can happen during a mental shift is your senses can be heightened a little bit, like sense of smell, sight, hearing. Okay, the second type of shift that I'm going to talk about is called a phantom shift, and for me these are the most common, and it's basically where you will feel the limbs and or body parts of your stereotype. Like physically you'll feel them on you, but they're not there. Very commonly you'll hear people say, you'll hear people experience that it feels like they have a tail, and they clearly, obviously physically don't have a tail attached to their body. Sometimes you'll feel a muzzle, fangs, claws, wings, ears. Sometimes you feel fur, which is interesting. And yeah, sometimes it'll feel more like your hands, or feel more like paws, maybe. Okay, the third type of shift I'm going to talk about is called an astral shift. And what this is, this isn't a very common thing, so if you don't experience these, don't feel bad. It's not very common. I've only done it maybe once or twice in my whole life. In all 21 years of my existence, I've only done it once or twice, so don't feel bad if you never experience it. It's not a common thing, but yeah. Anyways, what an astral shift is where you take on the form of your ethereal type or kin type during astral projection. Astral projection in and of itself is a very rare and uncommon thing. Like I said, don't feel bad if you never experienced that. Doesn't make you any less of Etherean, like, it doesn't matter that much. Anyways, I want to make a video on astral projection, like, in general, but I don't know if I should put that on this channel or not. I don't know, let me know if you think that would be cool, because maybe I could talk about astral shifting a little bit. But yeah. The fourth type of shift that I'm going to talk about is called a dream shift. Now, what a dream shift is, it's kind of similar to astral shifting, but it's more so where you take on the form of your ethereal type or kin type in your dreams. Now, I have a lot of these with my dragon, where I dream that I am like my dragon ethereal type or kin type. It's a kin type. But I guess I shouldn't say don't feel bad for just astral shifting, because like if you don't experience shifts at all, don't feel bad. It's normal. Like I mentioned in the beginning, some people don't shift, some people always shift. Some people shift sometimes, some people are always shifted. Like I said in the beginning, don't feel bad. But yeah, dream shifts, similar to astral shifting, but not the same. The fifth type of shift I'm going to talk about is called a CAMEO shift. And what a CAMEO shift is where you have a shift of an animal or creature that is not one of your ethereal types or kin types. So, like, for example, for me, if I were to experience a mental shift of a horse, that would be considered a CAMEO shift, because I don't have a horse stereotype. For any new and young Therians who are still trying to discover what their stereotype is, or who they are, what their identity is, this is also why I say it's extremely important not to jump to conclusions, because CAMEO shifts exist, and if you have a CAMEO shift of something, you wouldn't really know, and it's really hard to say whether that's actually a stereotype or not, especially if you're just starting out. Am I on sixth type of shift that I want to talk about is called an aura shift, and I don't actually know a whole lot about this, but I know that it's basically when your aura shifts into that of your ethereal type or kin type. I can't really give you any much more information on that, because I actually don't know a whole lot about this. I've heard about it, I read a little bit about it, but that's about all I can say. So I apologize if someone knows what aura shifting is very well. Leave that below for other people and for me, because I'd like to learn more. It's interesting. So yeah. And last but not least, I'm going to talk about physical shifting a little bit. Physical shifting is not scientifically possible. We as humans cannot physically shift into another creature. Our bodies are far too weak, and we wouldn't be able to handle all of our organs and bones moving around, and it would kill us very quickly. There's always going to be people out there that say, oh yeah, I can physical shift, and there is a little bit of scientific evidence of very, very small things, such as eye color. I've seen people who can change their eye color before, or like where their eye color just naturally changes. I don't know how true it is, or whether it's just photoshopped or faked or whatever, but there have been some videos, and there are people that sort of explain physical shifting a little bit better. However, scientifically, humans cannot physically shift into another creature. It just can't happen. If it could happen, that'd be really cool, but it can't happen, unfortunately. Okay, so that's it for this video. Sorry that we sort of vanished without saying anything. We're back. hopefully we can film more now that I'm out of school. I can make these videos more frequently. But yeah, that's it. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Comment down below anything if you want. If you know anything about aura shifting or any other type of shift. Or if there's a different type of shift that I didn't talk about that you've experienced. Or that isn't actually like a thing. Leave that below. And like what it is, a little information on it if you'd like. To help the whole community, not just me. And yeah, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit the bell icon to be notified every time we upload, which hopefully will be more frequent. Hopefully. I know I've said that several times, but I hope it'll be more frequent. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. Happy Halloween!